Hello students, welcome back to science class. My name is Abhishek Pratap Singh and we are making everyday efforts to make your study better. So I hope that you are also studying at your places and you must be following all the schedule of our classes. So students, let's start the class. As we were reading about the nervous system in our last class, we will going to conduct that lesson in today's class as well, or in today's video as well. So please watch the video completely so that you can understand each and every organ, like sense organs, clearly, and try to comment after watching the video. So students, let's start. So as you can see that I have just opened the picture of our book's page. So the heading is there, the sense organ. So now we have to just go through 5 sense organs, not exactly 5, but we have 5 main senses. Okay, so because of those senses, we are going to talk about their organs, like which organs are responsible for which sense. So the senses are seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting and feeling, right? We sense things with our sense organs, and for these feelings, these senses, we have our sense organs. Now students, you must be very clear about that which organ is responsible for seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting and feeling. So let me just recall it once for you that seeing is for, like, your eyes are responsible, your eyes do that. Hearing is because of your ears if you have. Smelling, you have a nose for it. Tasting means tongue, and feeling you have a skin or the fingertips, or are different things, right? So we sense things with our sense organs. So let's talk about the eyes first. The eyes help us to tell the difference between colors, shape and size, and help us to judge the distances, right? So eyes are a very important sense organ. First of all, like it plays a very important role. It helps us to find out the colors, shapes, sizes, and help us to judge the distances. And like it helps us to look the whole beauty of this world, right? Because of this only we are able to see everything. We are able to see the beauty of everything, right? So this is a very important sense organ. The eye is a soft organ. We all know that it's very soft, like it's very delicate part. Okay, that's why we have to protect our eyes with a, like, that's why we use very soft clothes to clean up our eyes, right? It's protected by the bones of the face, and in our skull or in our head, it is protected by the bones there. The eyebrows, the eyelids and the eyelashes protect the eye from sweat and dust, and these three parts are responsible for protecting eyes from these two factors, that is sweat and dust. So students, the diagram is very clearly visible here. You can just you can also use a mirror. You can keep a mirror in front of you and you can see your eyes. So you will be able to see the eyebrows. This is eyebrow. Eyelid, this portion is called eyelid, this one, and the hairs fixed in front of it is called eyelashes. Okay, so these three things help us to protect our eyes from sweat and dust. Now students, the colored part of the eye is called iris. Okay, so every point has been marked here with the dotted line. You can just see it. So let me help you in this. So iris is here. Okay, this colored part. Okay, and the light enters the eye through a dark spot, that a hole. Okay, there is a hole or a dark spot is called. That is a, in the middle of the iris is called pupil. Okay, so here this dark, it is a dark spot. Okay, from which the light enters into the eye. And behind the pupil there is a lens, and behind this slit there is a lens. You can see that this portion is a lens, right? So the lens form an image of object on retina, and because of these lenses, when light is entering through it, this dark spot or a hole, and like it is passing through the lens, and then image is forming on the lens image form of object on the retina. So this green color, you will see the layer is here, that is the retina, right? You just see that. So the retina has a special cells that can sense light and color, and retina is full of special cells which are able to diagnose the color and light which is entering into the eyes, right? So whenever we see a colorful object, our eyes are able to see that yes, it's very colorful, right? And whenever we say fade colors, so like our eyes are capable or compatible of judging color and the light, right? So message passed from the retina to the brain through a nerve cell called optic nerve, and here this whole retina is connected to this optic nerve. And what happens when the retina receives all the image and color, then retina passes those messages to the brain with the help of a nerve called optic nerve. So with the help of the optic nerve, all the signals, all the messages which is collected by the eyes pass through the brain with the help of this nerve, optic nerve. And the pupil becomes small in bright light and large in dim light. Students, if I talk about this line, you must be aware about this because this is very common thing which you can just assume in your daily life. So whenever you go into a dark room, what happens? You open your eyes very widely, like this. You open your eyes, right? And what happens when you open your eyes? You just want to see the extra thing because there is a dark. Your eyes are like there is no light, right? That's why you just open it more and more so that you can just allow more light to enter so that you can watch clearly because as it is dark. But it's just totally opposite in the bright light, or like suppose there is a room in which there is a very bright lights are there, okay, and you just entered into that room, and what you will do, you will just feel like, oh my god, a lot of light is entering into your eyes, and because of that, the size of your eyes will reduce, right? So whenever we see a very bright light, or whenever we just look at this and we just close our eyes because we want our very less light to enter because that light is very much bright. So students, let's read. When we come into a dark room from bright sunshine, we cannot see anything for some time, and it's very obvious thing. Whenever we come from outside, when there is a sunlight outside, and when we enter into a dark area, we cannot see anything for some time because our eyes, just adjust themselves for that darkness. The pupil then becomes larger to allow more light to pass, and as I have already told you that we open our eyes more and more so that pupil allows more light to enter into the eyes. This is an example of reflex action. Exactly, this is an example of reflex action. Now, what is reflex action? The actions which are involuntary, means they take place on its own. Okay, with the help of our spinal cord, means it started happening on its own according to the situation of the surroundings, right? Now students, after reading about the eyes, that is the main sense organ, let's read about the ears, which are responsible for the sounds coming into our ears. So they are able to judge the sound very properly. So the ear has an outer part that we can see called the outer ear. As you can see, this is the outer part which is called outer ear, right? As you can see, a narrow tube passes from the outer ear to a thin sheet-like structure called the eardrum. And yes, there is a narrow pipe or a tube is going inside, which is allowing all the sound vibration to pass into it, and they reach to a drum-like structure that is called, or sheet-like structure that is called eardrum. So this is the outer ear, and this is a tube-like structure passing, and here you will see that there is a drum-like, like a sheet-like structure which is called an eardrum. Now, sound is collected by the outer ear and passed to the eardrum, which vibrates and passes the sound to the middle ear, and from here it makes a vibration when it receives the sound from the outer part of the ear by the help of tube. It just passes the sound to the middle ear. Now, this portion, this whole portion is the middle ear. Okay, this is meridian ear also. The bones in the middle ear then pass this signal to the inner ear. Now, again, after the vibration, when it receives the vibration, when this eardrum receives the vibration and when it passes to the middle ear, then again the bones which are present here, this signals this all the message into the inner ear. The inner ear sends the signal to the brain, and like this, inner ear sends finally those signals to the brain. Now, behind the eardrum is the middle ear, which is made of 3 tiny bones, and this middle ear has 3 tiny bones in it. Tiny bones means very small bones are there. Now let's talk about the inner part. So behind the middle ear is the inner ear, and here you will see that this whole part is inner ear, and after when sound reaches from here to this portion and when shift to this the inner ear, then what happened? And then finally it goes to the brain. So students, we have done with the ear and eye. Now let's talk about the nose and the tongue. So the inside of the nose helps us to smell. The information on smell is taken to the brain through nerves, and the brain tells us what the smell is. A blocked nose cannot sense any smell. You all are aware of this. Whenever your mom cooks food, a very good, like a very tasty food, how do you know about it that it will be going to taste it? Because of your nose only, right? You just smell that, oh my god, what good smell is coming, mom, what are you preparing today? So this is the reason why you're able to sense the smell of that food from your nose, and when the nose is blocked, when you have a cold or maybe because of any other reason, you will be like you will not be able to understand, like you will not be able to smell different fragrances or odor, right? Let's talk about the tongue. Very essential part like for a person who loves to eat, even for everyone, because if we are not able to taste anything, we cannot enjoy eating part, right? So the tongue has a number of taste buds. Now, tongue is responsible for the taste. Tiny bumps on the tongue. You must have seen that when you just put your tongue out and you will in front of the mirror, you will able to see a small tiny bumps are there on the layer of tongue. These taste bud can sense sweet, sour, salty, and bitter taste in food. And these buds are responsible for these kinds of taste. That is sweet, sour, salty, and bitter taste in the food. The brain helps us to know the taste and enjoy what we eat. And again, yes, we all enjoy when we eat spicy or sweet or something which we like, right? So we enjoy while eating, and these buds help us to understand those tastes, diagnose those tastes. Any kind of taste that can be sensed in any part of the tongue by a different kind of taste bud. And yes, we have tongue is divided into different kind of buds. Like there are so many parts in it which is responsible for different types of taste. Alright, so this is all for this lesson, the nervous system. Okay, we have just done with this all. In the next class, we will discuss this lesson. Okay, we will just clear out the doubts. Till that time, please watch the video again if you have not understood till now. Do not forget to comment it. And thank you so much for watching.